grab your snacks, hide your showmance, ditch your reliance, and let's dive into the Big Brother drama with Kinda Unhinged. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another Big Brother video, and we are on episode 9. So we began this episode right after Amy's eviction, and as she left the house, she told everybody to get Jimmy out. He's a snake and a liar. So Jimmy thought nobody heard her, and he's like, well, it's no big deal. Nobody heard her anyway. But Mickey and Morgan heard her, and they were like, she wasn't just saying that for no reason. So, of course, Rachel is upset about Amy being gone. She's really sad. Ashley's also upset, but they're trying not to show it because they don't want to become targets in the house. And that's also why they didn't throw Amy a sympathy vote. And then we see Adrian and Keanu congratulating each other for, taking themselves off the block. And Keanu's like, yeah, man, we got a gun for HOH. We gotta win. And he's thinking that him and Adrian are cool and they're working together. But Adrian in his diary room is like, I didn't forget about him throwing Will under the bus. Like, we're not friends, we're not allies, he's an enemy. And I was like, okay. I like that. I like that from Adrian. I like that energy. And then we see Rachel and Ava making a final two. And I like this final two. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. I feel like people would not expect them. And if Rachel takes Ava to final two, Rachel has a great shot of winning. So this is smart in her book. And then for Ava, right now she's considered like a floater. So I think that this is good for her as well. It can help her get far in this game. And maybe she can start to make some moves, maybe win something, build a resume. So I like this two together. And Morgan and Mickey are still irritated with Jimmy. And they had started talking about him, and then he popped up. And he could feel the tension. He knew they were upset and he needed to do some damage control. So we get to the HOH comp, and it features twins Julia and Liz from season 17. This is one of those comps where you have to remember what somebody said in their dialogue. So they were telling these like outlandish news stories, and the contestants had to answer true or false questions. This comp went pretty fast. Like, we eliminated a ton of people just with the first question alone. And it got down to Mickey and Lauren, with Lauren pulling out the win for HOH. And I couldn't be more happy for her. I was really glad to see somebody that is more of a wild card to get that HOH, because I was excited to see what she was going to do with it. She's not really close to anyone except for Vince and Catherine. So everyone is nervous. They're all scared they're gonna get put up. Ashley's afraid because of Showergate and her situation with Catherine, and she's thinking, oh, Catherine's gonna get in Lauren's ear. And everyone thinks that Lauren is this pushover because she's so nice. And they're like, well, Catherine's gonna run her HOH. So she's nervous, and Mickey is nervous because of her affiliation with Ashley. And after Jimmy talks to Lauren, he's pretty confident that she's going to put up Keanu and target Keanu. So he tries to, in his effort to continue his damage control and win back over his triple threat alliance, he tells Mickey and tries to reassure her. But she's not that comfortable with hearing it, so she has to go and talk to her for herself. And after she talks to Lauren, Lauren says she's definitely leaning toward putting Keanu on the block and targeting him. So Mickey feels better about that. So now Lauren is in the position where she's pretty sure she's going to target Keanu. She's not sure about the other two people that she's going to put up. So then we see her talking to Kelly. And for the third time, for the third week in a row, Kelly offers to be put on the block. And you know what? At this point, I mean, I'm just throwing my hands up in the air, because if I have to say this another time, pawns go home. Kelly, why? You don't even have a power this week. Why? That cockiness, you feeling like, oh, I can get myself off because I've done it 2 other times. That cockiness is going to land you a one-way ticket home. And you're going to be watching on TV like the rest of us. Heed my warning. Stop doing this, please. Jeez. And now Lauren's like, oh, that's easy. Let me talk to Adrian. And she's talking to Adrian, and once again, Adrian, he's offering her every other option of who she could put up on that block. And she's hoping, trying to send telepathic waves to him for him to say, hey, put me on the block. And he's not doing it because Adrian's not crazy. He's never going to volunteer to be a pawn, and rightfully so. So now Lauren, she's feeling that pressure. So she goes to Will and she's wanting him to just volunteer to be a pawn. And he's like, no, I was just on the block last week. Like, why are you coming after me? Why are you asking me? I'm not going to play a game like this where I'm the pawn every week. You know, I don't want to be up there. And if you put me up there, like, I'm going to be upset. Then she's back in the HOH room and she's crying and she's saying, like, I just need somebody to volunteer. And I'm like, Lauren, maybe you shouldn't have been the HOH if you're afraid to make moves. And I was disappointed in that because I thought, well, you know, everybody's saying that she doesn't have a mind of her own. She's too soft. She's too this. And I'm like, maybe she's not. Like, stop underestimating people. But she's showing us that she's kind of afraid. So she's crying about it. And for a split second, I'm thinking, well, maybe she's not going to put Will up. But we get to the nomination ceremony and she nominates Keanu, Kelly, and Will. And Will is pissed. He said this was a punk A move. And all I got to say is I agree. And I hope he can win the power of veto on Wednesday and pull himself off that block. Or at least the BB Blockbuster on Thursday. So you guys let me know what y'all think about this episode in the comments down below. And let me know how you feel about Lauren as the HOH. I had high hopes for her, but she let me down. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much to all my new subscribers. I really appreciate y'all. And if you haven't already, lock in with me, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.
Flurries, you better grab a life vest, Kristen.